folks. Welcome to the Dutchman's Journal. Today I'm kicking off a new series called Trapp'n with the Dutchman. For those that don't know, I have recently moved, well I say recently, a year ago I moved into a totally new area. I've moved 500 or 600 miles from where I used to live, and even though I started back in the 1950s Trapp'n, this is going to be a totally new area. So I'm basically starting out all over again. I'm starting out with no real trap line territory. I'm not familiar exactly with all of the habits of the animals in this area. So I'm going to go on past knowledge, and I'm going to follow through with my old experiences and see how that works out for me in this new territory. And I think this will be a great learning experience for anyone that's just starting out in trapping. I'm going to be kicking off this series with the setting up a bait station, making the bait, and going out into the field, setting it up, and then monitoring it so that we can see the type of animals that will be coming to that bait station. Over the years I've used a number of different containers to set up a feeding station to attract the different animals. But what I finally have decided on that really works the best are these kitty litter containers. I think there's also silk containers and things like that you can use, which are similar to this. It's basically a rectangular bucket. And the reason I really like them is that, number one, you can stack them. You can put whatever you need inside of each one. You can use them for other purposes. I use them to haul traps around, even though they are for bait stations. So they're multi-purposed, and they're easy to make, and they're inexpensive. So those are the key things for me. Easy, it doesn't cost much. That works in my mind anyhow. So I'm going to start off with one of these buckets to show you how easy this is to make. All you have to do is drill holes. I drill 3 in the containers that I use, and there's a reason for it, and I'll actually show you why I do that when I'm out in the field. I only use 3 openings. So I'm going to drill 1.5 inch holes into my container. I have a drill bit that's 1.5 inches in size, and I will go ahead and measure down 2 inches, or measure up. I guess I should say measure up, really, from the bottom. I simply drill a hole in it. That's simple. Takes that long. The next step for me is to install the tubes that'll be going into the sides of the feeder. What I'm using are called male adapters, and just to bring this a little closer for you, you have a threaded end, then you have a what they call a slip end, and you're going to take a piece of PVC pipe, cut it to whatever length that you think is appropriate, and then it's going to slide into that. And that's this whole procedure. That's it. And then to fasten it inside, in the electrical department of a big box store, you're going to find these 1.5 inch nuts, and this just threads right onto the male adapter. Well, it used to thread onto the male adapter. There you go. Threads right onto it. And the reason for having this where I can detach it is so, number one, it makes it stackable. Number two, I do a lot of trapping out of a boat, and you're limited in space. So that's the other reason. So let's go ahead and put this in there. Very simple thing to do. That's it. I'll attach the other two. So there it is, the unit in completion with the lid on. The reason that it is sprayed brown, which is obvious to see, is that sometimes when you're setting these up, you might not want them to be so visible to other people. So I color them. I do a lot of the camo, I don't know, psychologically for myself. I just think it's better, so that's why I do it. It doesn't have to have the brown paint on it. You could use just the regular bucket if you wish, but it's an attractant to people, and so I want to limit the chance of someone coming by and wanting to know what it is and disturbing it, taking it down. There's a lot of PC wackos out there that'll disturb something like this. So that's the reason for it being brown. Now the next step, of course, is to make our bait. Okay, for bait I'm going to use my dollar store brand. It's called Alley Cat. It doesn't matter what it is. I buy the cheapest brand that I can. This one has chicken and tuna flavors. Raccoon love it. And then I'm going to use sun-rendered fish oil. This one I got from Katz Brothers, which is a supplier, and I will not put the fish oil into it until I get down to where I'm going to hang it. But I am going to put the Alley Cat food into a plastic bag. To quickly show you what we're going to be taking is, I have a plastic bag filled with the cat food. You could use dog food also, by the way. I have my fish oil. I have wire. This happens to be the thinner rebar wire. I have a simple game cam. I have a roll of toilet paper, which is multi-purpose use, I might say. And I have a angle cutter, pair of pliers, and I also tag my feed stations. There it is. Everything is contained within inside the unit itself, and we're ready to go out into the field. I'm going to leave the spouts attached because I'm only putting this one particular one out. There's no need to take them apart and store them where I'm carrying a couple of these together. So I'm ready to go. Well, this is the area that I selected to set up the bait station, and as you can see I have water, and let's not forget I'm setting this up for coon. I have water, and I have a bridge that's been set there by nature where they can cross over, and going back this direction off to the right side of me is a swampy area, and then this stream that runs through here, if you go I don't know maybe 600-700 yards, you'll meet a culvert which allows the water to pass underneath the road, and that's an ideal thing to have Raccoon go through. That's a natural trail for them to travel. Now over here I selected a tree here that I'm going to hang my station from, and then about 16 feet away I'm going to attach my game cam, and there are trails, I mean there are dozens and dozens of trails that run through here. There's a trail that runs back in that area over there. There's another trail that comes through over here. There's a trail on this side. This whole area is infested with trails, so we should see some activity. Alright, I've hung the station from the tree, and like I say, I only use 3 of those tubes. The reason for that, sometimes I can't find a tree to hang my feeder from, my station from, excuse me. So I might have to put it up right onto the trunk of a tree, and if you have 4 of those tubes coming out from it, it makes it very difficult to do it that way. So this way I can hang it and still have the option of fastening it directly to a tree. The station is about a foot off the ground, as you can see, and that's a good height for them to be able to stand up and get into it without other animals. Like, you're going to have skunk and possum come by. You don't want them going into the feeder. So that's the reason for keeping it a foot off the ground. The other thing is that I didn't show you is I did drill holes on the side. There's a big solid spot on these containers. I drilled a hole on the side just to run the wire through. I don't fasten it to the handle because the handles will in fact come off. Now I take my cat food, I dump it inside. I take my rendered fish oil, I squirt that inside. I then take my plastic bag, I put it inside the container. This extra piece of wire I have here, I'm going to just use it to hook over the top of the lid. And for those of you that don't have game cameras, I'm going to show you a trick that I used found to do many years ago. I'm going to take some toilet paper and I'm going to stick it into these holes. Now the reason for that is simple. If you don't have a game cam and you want to go ahead and find out if something's going in there, or you don't want to disturb this, any coon that comes along here is going to reach into that tube and pull that toilet paper out. So when you come by, you'll see the toilet paper laying on the ground and you'll know that someone has in fact come to investigate. That game cam I'm using is very inexpensive, and today you can buy these cams. That one I got for less than $40. You can buy refurbished cams. If you're going to use it for this purpose, I just suggest you use refurbished cams, and that way you'll save yourself a lot of money and you don't have to worry about someone stealing something that's expensive. So there it is. Now you know what the toilet paper was used for. Like I said, it was multi-purpose. So there's another purpose for it. Well, I hope that was a helpful video. We'll be doing more videos of that kind. One of the things I do want to point out, this isn't just for trappers. If there's wildlife photographers and they're interested in bringing in different types of game in order to photograph them, here's a perfect way to do that. It certainly doesn't hurt anything, and you'll be able to get, if you put a stand in the area, you'll be able to get some great shots. A stand, or a blind, I should say. You'll get some great shots of animals and their activities as they move around the forest. Of course, I'm asking you to subscribe. If you have any questions, you can easily contact me by subscribing, or you can contact me by going to my Lost Dutchman's Mind at gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. I'll answer your questions as best I can. So have a good day, and I'll be looking forward to doing more of these vids.